Hi, I'm McCauley. We're at the Thursday night Pray It Off at Holy Family, and we're going to talk about loving ourselves. We're going to talk about what that has to do with our weight, what that has to do with our relationship with food. And the first thing I'm going to do is talk about a little article here by Cheryl Richardson and Louise Hay, and it's entitled, Love Yourself First, Choosing to Live in Joy. And the whole article is about this woman who's 84, and if you Google Louise Hay, you will see she's an inspirational speaker. She's just very well known for her positive affirmations. And she's being interviewed and hanging out with Cheryl Richardson, and I've highlighted the line she says. Well, to me, it comes down to loving yourself, loving your body, and making peace with the aging process. Now, those of you here who are 15 and 16 years old, you might not be able to relate as much to some of us with making peace with the aging process. But I tell you, when you lose friends at a very young age to things like breast cancer, those wrinkles don't seem as bad. They don't seem as bad. So I don't have much problem with making peace with the aging process, although someone who isn't one of my favorite people and they never watch the blog said to me today at work, how's your sister doing? And I thought that was nice. I'm like, hey, that's nice. And I was waiting for that to zing, and it came. And I said, oh, she's doing much better. She goes, how old is she? I go, oh, she's 59. And she says, is she younger than you? And I was like, there it comes, the zing, you know, the bumping. And I said, oh, yeah, she's much younger than me because I'm pushing 80. I said, don't I look good? Don't I look good? And she's like, So that was and I afterwards I'm talking to God. I wasn't a sin. I just said I was pushing 80. I was just kidding. But I just find that some people are going to think you're old if you're 50. I remember thinking people were old when they were in their 30s. You know, it is all relative. My grandmother died at 96. She would say, any day on this side of the ground is a good day. It's a good day. So let's just love the fact that we're still kicking. Then she says, if you love your body, you care about what you put into it. You also care about the thoughts you choose to think. She gets up in the morning, she says, this is a glorious day, and every experience is a joyous adventure. She goes to the store, she chit-chats with the clerks, and you know what? I've always done that. If I go out to dinner, the first thing I say to the servers, what's your name? Jason, Jackie, whatever it is, and we chat them up. I find out where they're going to college, what they're doing. I like that. I have no problem seeing everything as a joyous adventure. When we live our lives to the fullest, we're going to make the little things in life wonderful and good and important. Now, here's one of the problems that a lot of us have. We live our lives like this. I'm going to get through high school really fast because all I really care about is college and getting married and having kids. And then you're like, well, when the kids are grown up, then I'm going to retire and I'm going to go to Florida. And then you go, well, this job, when I finish this job and I can retire. We always live our lives. It's like, you know, my oldest daughter, Shannon, when she was eating lunch, she would be eating lunch going, what are we having for dinner? Yeah. Let's eat lunch. Let's finish the lunch and we'll talk about dinner later. So that's, you know, when I'm at this job every day, which, by the way, I think I've told a few people, I really hate it. So I'm trying to find the joy in it. I'm trying to find some joy because this is my life. This is my life. Right here, guess what? This is our lives. We're living it. This is our life. Sitting here Thursday night, 6:15, this is our life. Our life isn't tomorrow. Our life isn't a year from now. Our life is right now. So we need to find some joy. We could think about the things that could make us bitter. We could think about people we've lost. We can choose to be bitter about losing loved ones, or we can choose to reach out to new people and fill the emptiness. I lost a good friend this week, and if I tell you he was 89, your first reaction might be, well, he lived a good life. Bill Broder, 89, World War II, Purple Hearts, up for the Congressional Medal of Honor. Then they called him to go to Korea. He was in World War II and Korea, had terrible injuries that affected the rest of his life. A life that he, when he was laying in the Chosan Reservoir in Korea, never thought that he would make it to 89. And everybody he met, he would talk to. And you'd see him at a garage sale, you'd see him here, you'd see him there. Everything was a joy. He raised over $10 million for charities. He gave the Geddes Field to the town of Geddes for those kids to play sports on. He lived his life with joy to the fullest. I can either cry every day about Bill Broder being gone, or I can use his life as an example and how I could maybe live mine. Try to be joyful, try to give to more to others. If we look at life this way, if we take care of ourselves, our bodies, and our thoughts and our minds, we can get to 84 like Louise Hay and have a much more positive outlook. Or we could say, you know what, why didn't I lose weight when I was 20 and now I'm doing it now? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We got to put an end to those thoughts. We're living here. This is our life. And we start by talking about self-love. Now, I love this next article too, because this guy looks at the same way I do. Self-love. Whenever I hear that, I think it's so narcissistic. I think it's so like, oh, I love myself. It sounds so new age, doesn't it? Oh, you gotta love yourself. And I really love this guy here, Joseph Burgo, doctor. He looked it up in the dictionary. It says conceit, regard for one's own happiness or advantage. And he goes, this is the first of my problems. Self-love puts it in the realm of narcissism. And then he talks about, it doesn't appear to be a positive attribute. It verges on egotism and selfishness. And then he goes on a little bit, and then he goes down to another. The Inner Self website says, loving oneself means loving the self and all others as well, since we are all one and the same. We're here to live and learn. Now, I kind of like this. He didn't so much, because he wants to eliminate the faith part of it, which to me is the essence of all things. I can love other people better if I love myself more. If I'm not always talking about how crappy I am and what a loser I am, I'm more happy. People want to be around you. They're like, hi, how you doing? Oh, there's that Ellen. No, she hates herself. Stay away from her. No, they want to embrace you because you embrace yourself. So then one of the things that he doesn't like, and I agree with it, I don't think that you can just sugarcoat the negative things in your life. I don't think you can bury the negative things in your life. I think you have to dig and deal with them. Even if it's painful, you have to deal with them. It doesn't mean you can't still appreciate and forgive yourself and go forward, but just pushing them down, they'll rear their ugly head sooner or later. So he feels that self-love can help us, though, deal with the difficult and painful ways we actually do feel. It doesn't mean that we pursue our own self-interest at the expense of others. Now, if I was leaving work and someone said to me, Ellen, Jim Boeheim says if you go right up to the Dome right now for the rest of the night, and he'll give you season tickets for SU basketball and football for the next 20 years, I would not have gone. Because I made a commitment to come to this group. And you might say, Ellen, wouldn't you have gone? Wouldn't you have really gone? I think when we make commitments that my own self-interest, some days I come here and I'm so dog-tired from getting up early and riding the bike or exercising and then working, but I get a second win because I feel the love from the group and vice versa. When you're in a state of harmony with your world, there's a sense of wholeness and goodness, a self-awareness of all our feelings, including the defensive and destructive ones. We got to deal with them all, and then we come to a quietness. That's why I like that whole tie thing, because we're just doing some motions, trying to come at peace, trying to breathe, dealing with everything, because everything isn't going to be perfect. It never is. I feel that we have the beauty of our faith to add that element. And I don't know about anyone else, and you don't have to raise your hand, but I did the novena to St. Margaret of Cortona. I feel a special connection with her now. You're not going to believe this, but I feel my metabolism changing. I feel like she's helping me. She's interceding. She is the patron saint of people with weight loss issues. I'd revisit that novena if I was. Is everybody okay over there? Okay. All right, we're going to stop there, Bob.